Hi there. So every now and then someone will get in touch and ask me how to fit one of these somewhere near one of these. Now it's something that I've never really been that interested in because I've got a big screen in front of me that I use. But that was until a guy called Lucian got in touch and sent me a few bits of plastic that lets this go on this. Okay, so I'll add the link for where to go to buy these bits of plastic in the description, and it should also appear here. Now what it is this basic pieces of plastic that you slide onto the neck, if you want to call it that, underneath the PM monitor, and that's where you attach the iPad. Now, what this guy sells is a version for your regular old size iPad, or the bigger 13-inch version, which is these hooks. I'll show you how to do both versions, but of course I've only got the smaller iPad, so you're gonna have to imagine I've got the bigger one in there. So anyway, here we go then. How do I fit that on that? I'm not going to get into apps that you can run on your iPad on this video, please check out another one later, but on screen you can see a few that I currently use and currently recommend. And the first thing that you have to do, fortunately I've already done in my intro, is to put the arm up to pretty much vertical because that's what's going to control the angle of your iPad. Next up, grab the long thick piece of plastic. You'll notice that there's two hooks across the top and there's like a trough at the bottom. And really all you do is you start at the top of the neck and then slide it all the way down to the bottom. And then as that gets wider, it's basically going to jam itself in place quite nice and comfortably. Then you get your iPad and rest it on that little trough at the bottom, but of course it's going to fall off. So that's where these little bits come into play. Now you'll see that they're quite definitely a left and a right piece. There's a hook across the top which goes across the top of the iPad, and these little notches, the lines, they slide into the side of the neck of the machine. So you put them across the top of the iPad and they quite nicely jam in to the top of the neck. And that, my friends, is all it takes to get the iPad in place. And trust me, it's actually really stable when it's there. When you're rowing, it keeps right where you want it to keep. And actually, I had my initial suspicions when Lucian got in touch to say, hang on, that's going to be way too low. I'm going to be all bent down trying to see it. But it's actually in pretty much the same height that I would have the PM5 at anyway. It's pretty much right in front of my eye line. The most distracting thing that I've experienced, to be honest, is when I was rowing outside for one of my RowAlong videos. It was like a mirror and I could keep on seeing myself going backwards and forwards. And so I kept on just kind of narcissistically looking at myself instead of what I was doing. But it is actually at the height that you kind of want it to be for a natural eye line. I was worried that I'd slumped down looking at it, but it's right in front of me. The PM's right above it, so I could get good traction on that. And it all works fine, it's stable. I don't have any worries at all about this falling off the front of my machine. And if you've got one of the bigger iPads, that's where these guys come in. They slot in underneath the PM5 over the nuts, and that is what gives the hooks the extra height to be able to take the 13-inch iPad. So if you're looking for an iPad mount, instead of paying the £50–60 that you can get them for on Amazon with a complicated bungee cords and all that kind of stuff, then this really is worth checking out. Whether it's this specific one or a different version is up to you, but this is cheap, it works, and hey, it's got the RowAlong seal of approval, if that matters. Anyway, so there we go. So there's a really quick video on how to attach your iPad onto the front of your machine, and that means that you can watch my RowAlong workouts on a nice big iPad instead of on a tiny phone with a Concept 2 cradle. And remember, I have well over 200 workouts on the RowAlong. See, I'm selling it to you now, on the RowAlong channel. You can dip into either 500 meter, 2K or 5K plan, or any of the workouts work perfectly as a standalone workout. Most of them I give you an intensity of either bottom tier, medium tier or top tier. And you just basically pick what you want to do. And I try and keep you company through the workout. I do not shout at you. I do not throw platitudes at you trying to tell you, hey man, you're doing so well. Come on, you've got this. I just kind of row along with you. When I start to find it tough, I kind of figure you might be starting to find it tough at that point as well. So we try and row along together in these things. No music. Now you might want music, which is fine. You just run a little Mixcloud in the background and that will give you the music as well, because why should I play Deadmau5 and Van Halen at you when you might not want to listen to them, hey? Why wouldn't you? Anyway, so there we go. So iPad, RowAlong. Hey, they're meant to be together, like cheese and burgers or something. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in another of my videos. Have a great day, stay safe, be well, bye-bye.